Okay, I'd like to go ahead and bring the Warrenton Board of Aldermen meeting for Tuesday, March 16th into session, March 16th, 2021 into session. With that, we'll go straight to the consent agenda.
The only item we have is the regular meeting minutes from March 2nd, 2021.
Entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
I believe the first one was Alderman Schultz. The second one was Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be hearing from the public. Before we do that, I'd like to just address that April 6th is not only voting day, but it also, if the numbers continue to drop within our county and city, we will be having the in-person session meeting. So I think some of us are looking forward to that, and it'll be good. With that, let's hear from the public. Do you think Brandy or Melody?
I received a letter or an email this week. It starts, I received an anonymous letter this week from someone who identified themselves only as a concerned senior citizen. They are requesting help with the issue of blocked ditches, culverts between Warrenton Baptist Church and Casey's on both sides of the road. Evidently, this individual has brought up the issue before, but the problem still remains. This individual stated that they are concerned with the elderly and children who frequent the area having to walk through water and slime on sidewalks. I went out and took some pictures of the ditches, culverts, and standing water and mud on or around sidewalks. I am aware that the city addresses sidewalk issues while MoDOT is responsible for the ditches and culverts. I have attached several pictures. The author of the letter also stated that the standing water creates a mosquito problem in the summer. I would appreciate it if during the board meeting, a statement would be made regarding what steps, if any, the city will be taking to look into this issue. That way, I would be able to report back to this resident as best as I know how to inform them of a possible solution. While I'm aware that some city employees oppose my principles and efforts in general, I would reiterate that I am simply passing along a concern brought to me by someone who is seeking assistance. This is not my personal request. I am sure that this concerned senior citizen would appreciate an attempt to remedy this issue. Thank you, Josh Poor.
With that being said, let's go ahead and address the base of the issue. Brandy, could you please address that?
Yes. So this was brought to our attention back in February of 2020, and with an anonymous letter that came to Alderman Schultz, and he brought it to city staff. We addressed it at that time. We cleaned up what we could. We contacted MoDOT at that time and let them know that there was an issue with the culvert, and they said that they would put it on a list to be fixed. We also looked at the sidewalks back in that time and discovered that it was a project that the city needed to pursue and do. However, we didn't have it in the budget at the time, so we added it to the board, and mayor added that to our budget for 2020 and 2021. So the sidewalk project is in process to start in April and get that completed. We did contact MoDOT again and checked with them for their status on the culverts, and they said that it is still on their list. However, it'll probably be late summer before they get to that. So it is already in the works.
Excellent. I think we all would probably have some type of opinion or statements on a lot of this, but Josh Poor brought this to us to be addressed, and I think we did address it. So I think we can move on to the next issue, unless somebody feels adamantly about saying something. All right, we'll move on to the next public comments, unless there is anything else hearing from the public. Brandy, do you have anything else, or Melody?
I do not.
Okay.
That was it.
Move on to the public comments.
Good evening.
First one, section 405.280, the telecommunication towers and facilities for the ADM-115.
Good evening, Mayor, board members. this section is going to repeal and replace the municipal code with Exhibit A regarding the telecommunication towers. These changes were necessary to bring our codes into compliance with recent changes to the state and federal law. They're written to provide the city with as much oversight as allowed under the state and federal regulatory guidelines.
Are there any questions?
The staff is recommending approval on section 405.280. The motion was approved. Approval passed 6-0 with 2 absences, 2 vacancies at the March 4th, 2021 Planning and Zoning meeting.
Anybody have any questions on that?
No.
No, but I read through this. Good grief, Tim. How many pages was this? This is
There was
a lot. Yes, I commend each and every one of you for going into the detail on this. I had no idea this was so extensive. So I think we're making the right move.
Okay, Tim, if you want to go to the next one.
Let's see, section 405.281, construction and employment of a small wireless facility, ADM 116. This is like the 115. It's to repeal and replace municipal code with Exhibit A regarding the telecommunications towers facilities. The staff is recommending approval of this municipal code. The motion for approval passed 6-0 with 2 absences and 2 vacancies at the March 4th, 2021 Planning and Zoning meeting.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
No.
Did I walk over somebody that was saying something before? I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to tell you that I didn't have any comments on Zoom.
Okay, excellent. Okay. Tim, are you handling the next one or is it someone else?
So yes, I'll handle the next one. The next one's going to be a Goodfellow boundary line adjustment, lot 4A and lot 4B. This is a boundary line adjustment for 19.3 acres of land west side of South Morgan Street, northwest of the west terminus of Bruni Parkway. The staff is recommending approval. And the motion approved. The Goodfellow boundary line adjustment passed 6-0, 2 absent, 2 vacant at the March 4th Planning and Zoning meeting. And I think the engineer, Bart Coleman's here to answer any questions on that one.
Excellent.
Sure. Thanks, Tim. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Board of Aldermen. For the record, Bart Corman, Lewis and Beatty. Tim did a good job explaining it, but it's the house there at the end of Morgan Street, Huey Rodeheaver's house. He's wanting to sell the house. The buyers want a little bit more property to go with it. He owns the property to the south, so we're just moving that line. That's all we're doing. No construction, no anything other than moving a property line so that there'd be about 6 acres with the house. I answer any questions anybody may have.
Okay, Bart, when I looked at this, does this not include the issue of connecting South Morgan to Bruni Parkway and therefore out to 47? Or did I misunderstand this? If
Actually,
that's the case, that would be wonderful for the city.
so I think the version Tim's got pulled up is the old version. We left a strip for Morgan Street in the southern lot so that if the southern lot wanted to develop, they could connect up Morgan Street at that point in time, but it would not be part of lot 4A. And so yeah, there's a revised version after some city comments that discuss that. That's in the file. I think we just pulled up the old version here that you're looking at, Mrs. Dyer.
Okay, yes.
So it does, so the revised version does allow for Morgan Street to be extended in the future if need be.
Where would the extension go, Bart? I mean, I'm having a hard time understanding where this, because this lot lays west of Morgan Street, is that correct? Or
Yes.
west of,
Yeah, so yeah, the drawing in front of us doesn't show that. But anyway, so lot 4A is 50 foot off of the east line there.
Mhm.
Okay, in the revised version. So lot 4B actually goes to the end of Morgan Street. So if lot 4B was developed and South Morgan needed to be extended, it would be part of lot 4B.
But it couldn't get over to Highway 47, right?
Well, why not?
No, it would have to connect to the park or to Forest Ridge or whatever it is. Yeah,
Oh,
Forest Ridge.
just so you guys are aware, we're working a little bit on a transportation to go. We're trying to update our comprehensive plan to have a little bit of a transportation roadmap. And one of those things that we are going to put in there eventually will have Morgan going down, and it'll connect to down here at the bottom. There's Bruni Parkway comes in, and then it goes to Forest Ridge, and it stubs out here, and it would eventually
okay.
would connect all of that. That's what we're working towards in the future for road connections.
Oh, so if you were to get on 47, make a right turn, at the library and start heading straight, that stub road where it ends, that's the vision is eventually Morgan Street could.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Right.
That's the future vision of our transportation plan that we are currently kind of looking at.
yeah, that would be wonderful.
So is this property owner then, he's the big house at the end of Morgan Street, so then at one
Correct.
time we talked with him about potentially getting an easement so people could walk from Bruning Park over to the new park. And he said he wasn't interested because he thought he might at some point in time need it for something else. Is that the same property owner?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. I'm with you.
Any other questions or comments?
No.
So is this an easement, Bart, that would be dedicated to the city?
No, it's part of lot 4B. But there's an easement on top of it in that area.
What does that mean?
So it's part of the lot, but there's an easement on the lot in that area for road and utility purposes.
But if we were to go ahead and try to extend, we'd still have to get an easement from the property owner to do that.
Yeah, you'd need another 640 feet to get down to the southern part of lot 4B there. That is correct.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
So can I go back to Brandy and Terry for a second? So would it not make sense for us to approach him at this time to see if he's willing to give an easement, or you think that that's not a good idea at this point in time? You can weigh in on this too, Bart.
I believe what we would go for is when they develop this land or whatever they decide to do with it, that's when we would put in an easement and all of that. Terry, correct me if I'm wrong. But when they go to do something here, that's when we would get all of that sidewalks and
Okay.
road and everything.
As long as the lot 4B ownership controls that stretch,
Yeah.
then I would agree with that. But if they do
Right.
not control the ability to turn that over to the city, then you would need to get it now.
Yeah, that
Right.
was my concern, is because it really doesn't do you any good if the 4B owner doesn't control it, because you couldn't, you'd have Morgan Street stopping at 4A, and then 4B, you could pick up a road, but you'd have that gap in between there where we couldn't get a road or get an easement for, so.
Right. Yeah. And I, if it wanted an easement all the way through there, I mean, I'd have to talk with the owner if he'd be open to that. I don't think he would be, but I mean, if he's not having to build the street, that's the main purpose. Cause he's just wanting to sell the house at this point. Obviously 4B will probably be for sale one of these days. Might be for sale now, I don't know, but, and so if I can talk to him, we could add an easement if he's agreeable to it and the city would like that, but there will be a utility easement there. There is I believe a 10-foot utility easement along the back of that. So there would be a small stretch there.
Okay.
So you're saying, Bart, that lot 4B will not control that area
The
alongside 4A?
4B will control that. It is part of lot 4B. They
Oh,
will
okay. I
Yes.
see.
So,
Yeah, you can see that on the next, that other drawing. You can see, yeah,
Yeah.
there it is.
yeah, the first version was not like that. This version, the revised version does have 4B controlling that strip.
Okay.
Any other questions?
No,
All right. I'm sorry. One sec. Thank you, Bart. Thank you, Tim. I
No
appreciate it.
problem.
You're welcome.
Any other public comments?
I have none.
Melody?
No.
Next, we'll hear from the Board of Alderman comments.
I'd just like to shout out to Heath Sellenrick and the Gateway Fiber people for moving forward. I see them all over town, so it's exciting. It's going to be great for our community, for future residents, future industrial and development. So I'm happy to see that project seems to be well underway. So it's good.
Nice to have options.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of positive feedback already about that coming in. Residents are
Good.
very happy about it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Did you already get it, Alderman Crump?
No, I have not received it yet.
No, your
I did.
internet's just great. It's like keeping up. I'm playing around.
No, you're good. I moved the router into the same room.
It does wonders.
Yeah, Bob Delaloy was telling me he's got the tin can on the string thing, so.
Yeah, that's up my office in Jonesboro.
Gonna help Bob out a lot.
Any other comments? I see you will. Move to the mayor's comments. Actually participated in Wright City. I had a fun time. It was a 80s theme bingo for the seniors at Wright City High School this past weekend. And I believe this weekend they're doing a senior event at the Elks Lodge for the Warrenton seniors. And so far it's been kind of nice to see the seniors coming out of the homes to try and emerge and out of COVID. So talking with them, I think half are wanting to come out and half aren't. And, I'm just glad to hear that most of them are starting to accept a lot of scholarships and funding. So I don't know. It's always fun talking to seniors in my book, seeing where they're going to go in their next adventure in life. I'm glad to hear that some want to come back. That's a good thing. It's how we sustain ourselves as a town. But every time I get to go speak, it's always one of those things of go on your journey, but remember home's home, and we're always welcome to have you. So I hope we always sound that to people we may speak with, and as they're getting older or younger, I should say. They are younger, going on their journeys in life. It's always nice to know you have a home base to come back to. With that, I'd like to talk about appointments to committees. Brandy, do you have a listing on that?
I do. So for the committees for 2021, we have development's going to be Bob Delaloy, Gary Miller, and Cheryl Dyer. The operations will be Alderman Ock, Alderman Crump, and Alderman Delaloy. Downtown, that committee is going to be Alderman Schultz, Alderman Crump, and Alderman Dyer. And then the representative to the Planning and Zoning Commission is going to be Alderman Ock. Representative to the Park Board will be Alderman Schultz, and representative to tourism will be Alderman Miller.
So just so everybody knows, these are assignments that we always, or I shouldn't say assignment, appointments we always make for different committee representation for the board, so the board can come back and communicate sometimes things like different meetings that they have, such as what, like we said, planning and zoning. Alderman Ock is main person who will come back and let us know a lot of things that are going on, or if there was an issue that he saw at the meeting that he can bring back up to us during the meetings like now, so we can discuss it. Same way it happens with like Park Board and tourism when they have those. This isn't something new. It's something we've always done. It's just a reassignment or appointments to the committees. So just in case we needed to clear that up, I know some people who may not know or have just moved here and are watching may not be familiar with that. Any other comments to those? Entertain a motion to approve the committee appointments as submitted.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer. I think, Melody, did you get Alderman Miller's second?
I couldn't understand. I'm sorry. I don't know. Who was it?
I didn't know if Alderman Miller or Alderman Crump were the ones the second. Which one you got?
I didn't understand. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, we'll go with Alderman Miller. That's who I got on my screen as the second. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next, we'll hear from City Administrator Terry Thorne.
I don't have anything for you this evening.
Wow. Okay. That's easy. Next, we'll hear from Director of Operations, Brandy Walters. You can do that easy too.
Good evening. I do. I wanted to let you know that at the last meeting, Terry discussed the parking on the ramps at the new interchange. And we got an ordinance and a bill ready for you later in the meeting for your approval. This will include all the ramps at the new interchange, and it'll also include the space between the two roundabouts on the south side. So that will all be no parking. So that way, when our guys are going out and mowing and trying to maintain all that, they don't have all those ruts and they're not tearing that all up.
Understandable.
Does that include the first interchange?
It includes just the new interchange.
Just the new, okay,
The old one
Yes.
has signs on it already.
Yeah, I believe so.
okay.
Excellent. And that will be a bill later on in the agenda, correct?
Yes,
Excellent. Thank you. Anything else, Brandy?
I have nothing for you.
I almost said Terry. Sorry, Brandy.
That's okay.
Next, we'll hear from Project Manager John Strucka.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. All I have for tonight is the monthly admin report.
Any questions on those?
No.
No, I did not have
Nope.
any.
John? Looks like you get off easy too.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Finance Officer Dana Blask. Maybe not.
Dana with us?
I thought she was on the phone.
She
Can
may
you
have
hear
been.
me?
Yes.
Here you are.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
Good evening. You have before you the January financials. So highlights from there, general fund revenues are about 79,000 below budget. Key items include sales tax, which is about 177,000 above budget. So we're still above budget in sales tax, not quite the same percentage that we were above at the beginning of the year, but still tracking a little above. In property tax is 7,000 above so far this year. Pool operations, 48,000 below budget, again, related to COVID and concerns there. Police revenues, a total of 103,000 below budget, and primarily court-related fines. So 66,000 below budget on those court-related fines. Then for the court department, they are 24,000 below budget, again, related to court fees, since they haven't had in-person court in quite a while. Permits were 20,000 above budget. So these include building permits, occupancy inspections, business licenses. In the general fund operating expenses, you'll notice that we are 344,000 below budget in expenses. They include special events. Again, no fall festival, which was budgeted at 85,000. Pool operations were reduced, 39,000 below budget. The balance is primarily related to some wage vacancies in various departments, and the rest is timing on materials and supplies that we anticipate still purchasing this year. In the water and sewer fund, revenues are about 8,000 above budget in total. Receipts from water and sewer sales, about 65,000 above budget. Industrial sewer, though, is about 72,000 below budget. Again, primarily related to the Coke production facility. And again, that just varies throughout time. Connection fees are about 35,000 above budget. Again, mostly related to additional new homes. Operating expenses in the water and sewer fund are, sorry, I have to double check something there, 173,000 below budget. Again, wages related to vacancies, about 45,000 of that. And the balance, primarily materials and supplies that are yet to be purchased this year. Those are some of the highlights of the January financials. Were there any questions related to them?
Dana, this is a really small number, but what is impacting the fact that animal control is 5,000 under budget? What happens there where that fluctuates that much?
And they've been fully staffed for the most part this year. The other thing that impacts it again are just some of the supplies. If they haven't purchased everything or some of the bigger items for the year. As far as I'm aware, they still anticipate that they will come pretty close to their budgeted amount for the year.
Okay.
Dana, let me add to that. One of the biggest reasons their biggest expenses is their veterinary bill. And Brenda has done such a fabulous job of getting other entities, other shelters, to take some of these animals. And so we have significantly reduced the veterinary bill by that fact. And then also by the fact that she gets a lot of donated veterinary supplies, just because she works so well with all these different entities. So the vet bill would run many thousands of dollars a month, and that has been reduced to next to nothing. So she's done a really great job with that.
Oh my gosh, good for her. I wasn't sure if there was some impact for people who are donating things to the facility now that we have. I think we talked about being able to make donations for food and things to the shelter.
They are receiving donations.
Okay.
I don't think that necessarily affects her
It does.
expenses being
Okay.
under budget, because she really wasn't purchasing those supplies
Okay,
that she's giving away at the pet food pantry. But she receives many, many donations, and they're doing a really good job of that. And yes, we certainly encourage anyone who would like to donate food or those sorts of any kind of pet supplies. Those can become part of the pet food pantry.
blankets, towels are always appreciated.
Absolutely.
I know. So a lot of things like that could be donated. She is doing a really good job. I'm glad to see that. Okay.
Brandy, I
That's
have a
fine.
question for you. Where are we on the remodeling of the house off North Highway 47 for the animal shelter?
Oh, currently we're only utilizing that for the, not really an animal shelter right now. We're only using that for the food pantry. So
Okay,
we're not remodeling that at this time. We're just using it for the food pantry.
okay.
Danny, did you have more to tell us?
No, unless there were any other questions, nothing else.
Are there any other questions for Dana?
No,
Thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Next, we'll hear from Director of Planning and Development, Tim Burks.
Okay. Section 405.280 telecommunication towers and facilities, ADM 115. And the section 405.281 construction and deployment of small wireless facilities, ADM 116. And then Goodfellows boundary line adjustment, lot 4A and 4B. There's bills on the agenda later for approval for these items.
Some of those were a little lengthy. Does anybody have any questions for Tim on those? Nice one. Anything else, Tim?
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we'll hear from Maintenance and Grounds Director, Brad Boozy-Cruz.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my monthly report.
Any questions on the monthly report?
no.
No,
No,
Anything else to share, Brad?
That's it.
Well, that was easy. These are nice days for you guys. Next, we'll hear from Building Commissioner Mike Cross.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my monthly report before you.
Any questions for Mike on his monthly report?
No. I already asked mine earlier. No new houses.
Well, I was saying, if you want to ask it now, you can ask now too.
No, you already told me. No new houses. Lumber's too high.
Yeah, lumber's
Gotta
still
wait.
inside. That and the weather. I think we're gonna have another wet spring again.
Yes.
Or wetter than normal, I should say. All right, thanks, Mike.
You're welcome, sir.
Next, we'll hear from Chief of Police Larry Elliott.
Good evening. The only item I've got for you tonight is my monthly report.
Any questions for Chief Eller?
Nope.
nope.
All right, thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And I almost feel like a drum roll should be in order for Public Works Director Guy Jeevers, because I know he's got a couple things here.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. First time I have it, my monthly report. Quick highlight, we had 6-inch water main break, fire hydrant came apart, we had to fix it. The trees along North Highway 47 that was a bad issue is down, they're down, and grounds and maintenance help take care of them. We had a sewer main repair on Hazy Lair. We had a total of 6 sewer calls, 2 were on private, 4 were on the city side. Any questions?
Any questions for Guy on that monthly report?
No, looks like he just wants a bunch more money.
Wants more money. Yeah.
So I guess, Guy, let's move on to the money.
Okay, so the first time I have is a change order for Cochran Engineering for well 9 for the amount of $6,500. We are still under budget, and this came up with having to re-engineer the pumps, the motors, because of the depth of the well was changed. So it's basically administrative fees for Cochran for that.
Any questions
Just
on-
out of curiosity, do you know how much deeper it was than they anticipated? I mean, what does a normal well go down to get water?
Well, let me look. Let me look. So originally that comes from DNR. I'm gonna say we started off at 1300 feet. I'm gonna get lost now. I got my notes.
So DNR is the first one who makes an assessment as to what they think it's gonna be? Is that how that works?
That's correct. And then what they do is they'll look around the area to see where other depths of the wells are, and they'll look at ours, and they'll look at the aquifer, see what they have there. I can't find it right now.
So do we know when we do all these wells, are we tapping into the same, what is it called, aquifer or water area, or is there various different ones underneath the city? Do we know that? Just out of curiosity.
I do not know that off the top of my head. I believe that it's different.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. You want me to get back to you on that?
That's fine. No, I just was
Yeah,
curious.
Yeah,
You
I don't
know,
have it. I thought I
Do
had
we
it
go
in front
down
of me.
100 feet more? Do we have to go down?
So we went
significantly
down
more?
200 feet. We went down originally 200 feet more. I know that.
Okay. Well, that's all I need to know.
Okay.
Are there any-
Sorry about that.
All right.
Any questions proposed just to the change order proposal 1 for Cochran Engineering on 1-9?
No.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the change order proposal number 1 from Cochran Engineering for well number 9 in the amount of $6,500.
So moved.
Second,
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Crump. Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
You're muted.
Yes, yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Alderman Knock, that was 1,350 feet with the original contract.
Wow. Okay, thank you.
Sorry it took so long.
All right. Sorry I caught you off guard.
That's all right. I try to have everything ready. Next item I have is a change order for Pace Construction for $38,282. This is a change order for the west interchange near the shop at Warrenton. Is due to a box culvert that was deeper and bigger than what the plan showed. This project is still under budget.
Do you have any question about that?
Yeah. Hey, Guy, when you
Yes,
said
sir.
that this is bigger than what the plan showed, so does that mean
So-
when they put this bigger one in, no one made that adjustment?
So they received the plan from MoDOT. That's the storm drain that runs under Highway 70. So they take the plans from MoDOT and that's what they worked off of. So it's a concrete pour. So when they went to get to that point, we got problems.
Okay, so what you're saying is MoDOT didn't update the plans when they put a bigger one in, is that correct?
what the engineer told us that the plans that they received for MoDOT was actually in place.
Gotcha. All
So
right.
can we subrogate against MoDOT to get our
Right.
38 grand back?
Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't get them to stripe the highway. I don't think they're gonna give us any money back.
Now be easy on them. They are working on that North Highway 47 project, so.
Oh,
That's
God,
true.
I know.
It comes and
I'm
it
about to
goes.
buy some paint.
It's
We have
true.
no striping again. I don't know what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Let your words be sweet, Cheryl. You might have to eat them tomorrow.
That's okay. I only have a few weeks left.
Yeah. If anybody's gonna say it, Cheryl say it. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right, if there's no more questions on that, I will entertain a motion to approve the change order for Pace Construction for the west culvert at the shops of Lawrence and Interceptor in the amount of $38,282.
So moved.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear who the second was. Did you catch it, Melody?
I believe Alderman Schultz.
Thank you. Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Schultz. Roll call vote.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes,
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next item I have is a change order for Citriform for pipelining for the amount of $21,400 for additional pipelining. We are still under budget on this project. We had a concern and an issue off of Lakeview Drive and Center Street, and they were already in town doing work, so we had them look at that. And we had a problem. We have a problem there, and we're going to address it and fix it. We are still under budget on our I&I. So I'm
what's
asking
what's
for
the
approval.
what's the procedure for that? I mean, so we obviously can't afford to go in and pull out all the clay tile drainage stuff we have. So wherever we can, we simply run a liner in. Is that the theory?
So what they'll do is the crews will come in before we get what we want done. They'll come in and flush the lines, root saw them if roots need to be taken out, camera the lines and see if there's bad spots that need to be dug up and fixed. They call them point repairs. And their machine also, so if you got a protruding service sticking into the main, their unit will actually cut that protruding service out. They'll clean that whole system out and then line it and then go back in and cut the services out. So they probably flush it and camera it and flush it and camera it till they get it open and clean to where they can line it.
Okay.
So Guy, before I even go into this, what is the name of the company again?
Citriform,
In situ form?
INSITYFORM.
Excellent. Okay. So, and if there's no more questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve the change order from In Situ Form for the CIP pipelining number 2 in the amount of $21,400.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, second by Alderman Crump. Roll call vote.
Alderman Ock,
Yes,
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. You have another one? Mr.
Yes,
Beal?
sir, I do.
Excellent.
This is a proposal from Gonzalez Engineering for the amount of $5,500 within budget for engineering and design from changing the gas chlorine to a liquid chlorine for the wells. this needs to be done because DNR needs to approve it.
Guys,
So they'll
this
get
is
to it.
safety, is this a safety issue?
It is, because we had an issue off of Ashland. I mean, Powell Street with a liquid, with the gas chlorine. The liquid, we have at well 9, that's really been running good. We were kind of hanging on to see how that panned out before we move forward with this, but that's working real well. We can actually watch that on our SCADA system to see how if the chlorine's running, so that's a benefit.
Good.
So this is something initiated by MoDOT?
No, this is something that we came up with to get rid of the gas chlorine, to go to liquid. So we proceeded to go with it at the new well, and now we want to switch all our wells over to liquid. Big part of it is safety.
Okay.
And you just seek to do this, DNR has to approve.
Yes, DNR's got to review the plans and look at it and give us the okey dokey.
So is this something that you said could be monitored from like an office or a PC?
Yes, that's on our SCADA system, and I can see it at home. Mr. Struckoff can see it at home. The water department guys can see it at home. If the alarm goes off, we can look to see what alarm's going off and then address it from there. And also control the pumps and that from home off the SCADA system if need be.
Is there a cost difference in this guy from switching from the gas to the liquid?
Not a big difference in cost. It's going to be, so the gas chlorine has like a little water pump that pumps the chlorine, goes through the pump and it pumps into the city system. This pump for the liquid is completely different. So the initial cost will be maybe a little more because of the HUT net for next year's budget, but the safety issue of it outweighs the cost of what that
Outweighs the cost, okay.
Any other questions?
No.
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposal for Gonzalez Engineering to switch from gas chlorine to liquid chlorine in the amount of $5,500.
So moved.
Second.
The first one was Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Dyer. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock.
Yes.
Passes 6-0. Next will be bills of ordinance. Oh, by the way, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Next will be bills of ordinances. I'll entertain a motion for a first reading of bill number 14-21.
So moved.
Second.
Melody, who'd you give for second?
Dyer,
Motion made by Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Dyer.
an ordinance of the city of Warrenton repealing and replacing section 405.280 of the municipal code regarding telecommunication towers and facilities.
I'll entertain a motion for a second reading of bill number 14-21.
So moved.
Second.
Who'd you get on that one?
I believe Dyer again.
Motion made by
Alderman.
Alderman Deloy, seconded by Alderman Dyer.
An ordinance of the city of Warrenton repealing and replacing section 405.280 of the municipal code regarding telecommunication towers and facilities.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz, Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I will entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 15-21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, or I'm sorry, Dyer, seconded by Alderman Crump. Is that correct?
And Yes. An ordinance of the city of Warrenton establishing procedures and requirements relating to construction and deployment of small wireless facilities.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 15-21.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second,
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Dyer.
An ordinance of the city of Warrenton establishing procedures and requirements relating to construction and deployment of small wireless facilities.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
yes,
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Bill passes.
Alderman Deloy.
I'm sorry.
We are. They did Deloitte.
Oh, sorry.
it's
Bill passes.
me, yes.
Want me to say it again?
That's right. Bill passes 6-0. Entertain a motion for a first reading of bill number 16-21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, is it seconded by Alderman Deloy?
Yes. An ordinance accepting the boundary adjustment for lots 4A and 4B of Goodfellow subdivision by the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
So moved.
Oh, hold on. I'll entertain a motion for second reading of bill number 16-21, and I believe Alderman Miller, you're first up on that.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Schultz.
An ordinance accepting the boundary adjustment for lots 4A and 4B of Goodfellow subdivision by the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
yes,
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I'll entertain a motion for first reading of bill number 17-21.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance amending table 4-A titled restricted parking in accordance with the Schedule 3 of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri relating to prohibited parking.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 17-21.
So
Passage.
moved.
Sorry. Who'd we have as the first one?
Gerald Dyer,
And who'd we have as the second?
Nobody.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Dyer, seconded by Alderman Miller.
an ordinance amending table 4A titled restricted parking in accordance with Schedule 3 of the municipal code of the city of Warrenton, Missouri related to prohibited parking.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Dyer,
Yes.
Alderman Ock,
yes,
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Deloy,
No.
Alderman Schultz,
No.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Bill passes 4-2.
Mr. Mayor, may
Yes.
I interject something?
Sure.
This, so we're all aware, is Terry Thorne's last meeting. She's got 2 weeks left, but I think from my perspective, I'd like to thank her for her commitment to the city and all the things she's done to leave the city in the condition it's in and help us stay under control and focused on the task at hand. So thank you, Terry, for your work over the last few years, certainly since I've been on the board and before then also.
You are very welcome.
Ditto, ditto.
I'm
Thank you.
sure you would be welcome and would love to see you on the meeting on the 6th if you could make it back, if you're not in some tropical island enjoying retirement.
I won't be on the 6th, but a couple weeks after that, I will not be on an
Good for
island, but
you.
I'll be on the
Good for you.
beach. Close enough.
That is definitely good for you.
I certainly appreciate all the support over the years. I've learned a tremendous amount, and I think we've come a very long way.
Absolutely.
Tears, laughter, blood, and sweat, it seems like sometimes, huh?
Amen. Amen.
I know a lot of people have decided to, or have, and wanted to criticize her in the past, and I'll tell you, criticisms being what it is, nobody knows how much she's kept the city in mind and tried to keep everything above water at times, and sometimes just trying to show the transparency and really putting forth that effort to be transparent. And I know I, for one, learned a lot from Terry and still continue to learn a lot from Terry and appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Well,
put.
thank. And
Thank
you
you,
will
Terry.
continue to learn from Brandy as things move forward. I have all the confidence in the world.
Even when we don't want to, we will. Brandy will make us learn.
Absolutely. I have taught her how to make that happen.
The powers that be.
Yeah, just be stubborn and keep on until somebody listens. That's the key.
Absolutely.
So here, Gary, I do agree with you. Thank you very much, Terry.
Thank you, Terry.
So with that, I will entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Everybody jumped on that one.
Oh.
Who'd you get, Melody?
Are we in a hurry?
I don't know. Everybody spoke at the same time, so pick somebody.
So moved.
Who just said that?
Schultz.
All right, we'll go with Schultz first. Who are we gonna go with second?
Second.
Alderman Dyer. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. So with that, we'll be adjourned, but I would like to say before we leave, I believe we had somebody come in. Let's say hi to Mr. Porter. How you doing, sir? Thank you for attending. With that being said, we are so adjourned.